banks of an icy Missouri River in Omaha, Nebraska, the campus of Creighton University and DJ Sokol Arena. Today, women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi. Two teams today, very even, as you see on paper and, well, in the standings. Jake Ryan along with Rob Sims as we get you set for a fantastic matchup this afternoon between Creighton and Providence. You saw that 4-4 in the standings, and there's a lot of movement to be had here in the next couple of weeks as the conference season continues on. They've arrived at that mark in very different fashion, the Blue Jays and the Friars.
Differently, Providence 4-1 in their last 5 games. That's their best stretch of Big East play, not only this year, but in the last 22 seasons. It's the best ball they've played inside conference action. Creighton, on the other hand, up and down throughout the season to get to that 4-4 mark, just based on injuries that they've had to deal with throughout the season, and still trying to get it through that injury bug. Yeah,
a couple of seniors have led the way for both squads, but it's the complementary pieces that we're going to look at today, Rob.
Yeah, absolutely. Providence led by a couple of freshmen. Kayla Webb will highlight today the reigning Big East freshman of the week. Mentioned that 4-1 mark over the last 5 games. That's when Kayla Webb was inserted into the starting lineup for the Friars, and she's complemented by another freshman, Mary Baskerville. On the other side, it's a sophomore for the Blue Jays that has come on lately. A couple of games ago, 22 points, a career best against St. John's. You see to raise that scoring average, leads the Big East in that free throw percentage.
And your keys to a victory for both squads today, after talking to the coaches, here they are.
Yeah, Coach Flannery for the Blue Jays mentioned they have to be defensively disciplined. They have to fight through those screens to be able to contest those outside shots from the Friars. Keeping the offense clean, not only does that mean taking care of the ball, but really delivering the passes where they need to be so Creighton can get those quick shots off. And he mentioned some sloppy footwork last week that they need to clean up. Providence, on the other hand, Coach Jim Crowley, protect and contest. They have to protect the basket. They have to contest those three-pointers that Creighton is so well known for. Taking care of the ball is something they've had struggled with throughout the year, too, averaging almost 18 turnovers per game. They need to clean that up if they want to come away with a victory.
Friars and the Blue Jays starting lineups and your opening tip coming up next on the Big East Digital Network, brought to you by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Inside DJ Sokol Arena as we get you set for Creighton and Providence this afternoon in Omaha, Nebraska. Jake Ryan along with Rob Sims. Let's get your starting lineups first for the Friars of Providence, led by head coach Jim Crowley. There you go, Webb, Baskerville, Nogich, Jolin, and Orlando. 2 of those seniors that we addressed in the pregame right in that lineup.
Yeah, Nogich and Jolin, didn't talk too much about them, but they are the heart and soul of this team. Both leaders in their own way. Nogich on the floor. Jolin has really taken to a leadership position off the floor. Nogich, the leading scorer on this team at better than 14 points per game.
Jim Flannery's Creighton Blue Jays in his 17th season. Owen, Sarda, Agnew, Griglione, and there's the senior for the Blue Jays, Audrey Faber.
Yeah, Audrey Faber has led the team in scoring all 4 seasons that she has been on campus, averaging 17 points per game this season, and she has enjoyed playing against the Friars here in Omaha the last 2 years, where she's averaged 19 points on 9 of 18 shooting from three-point range when matched up against the Friars here at DJ Sokol Arena.
Both teams in their pregame huddles getting set. We didn't mention Jade Owens, another one of the seniors. She's in the starting lineup. She hasn't played the last 2 seasons, Rob. It seems like she's not a senior. I mean, I know eligibility-wise she is, but she hasn't been on the court for very much.
Well, it wasn't even that she wasn't on the court. She couldn't even practice. She had a couple of hip surgeries last year, and that's just part of the injuries that Creighton has had to overcome. She started the first 4 games this year after missing more than 900 days. She's returned to the lineup the past few games, and she's playing her best ball of the season.
Baskerville and Agnew going to the center circle, and it's Providence that wins the opening tip. They'll travel right to left as we get underway here from DJ Sokol Arena. There's Kayla Webb, the freshman, who will handle the point guard duties. Over into the hands of Jolin, and onto the wing to Orlando. Dribbles into the key, kick out to Nogic, and in and out, a rare miss for Yo-Yo.
Nogic, the all-time three-point leader in program history. You mentioned it. Unusual to see her miss those shots because she's so effective out there.
Back the other way come the Blue Jays. Sarda looking for Faber on that elbow. Now they'll kick it out Agnew. Talk about Jalen Agnew and the fact that she just hasn't gotten comfortable this season playing with another one of those injuries that we addressed. Three-pointer no good and a foul down low against the Blue Jays.
Yeah, Jade Owens going over the back to try to get that rebound. And yeah, you're mentioning Jalen Agnew's injury. Suffered a injury to her thumb early in the non-conference, missed 4 games, came back with a brace on her thumb, and you see it throughout the game today, still playing with a brace on that thumb, trying to get comfortable.
Orlando to Webb, she's looking inside, finally finds Baskerville. Wrap it down with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Inside again to Baskerville. Talented freshman on both squads. As Orlando will take it to the hoop. Off the glass, no good. And a couple of buckets have rimmed out for the Friars.
Both these shots from Providence are shots that Coach Crowley wants them to take, and they were both inches from going down.
Agnew coasting to the hoop. Again, they missed the point-blank shot. The Friars and the Blue Jays both missing early. Dribble off the leg, good hustle by Sarda getting on the floor. It will be out of bounds off the Blue Jays, though.
You see that mishandle by Nogic, and again, talking about taking care of the basketball. Providence averages almost 18 turnovers per game.
Into the corner to Webb. She'll fire the quick release three. Bangs off the iron, but Baskerville there for the offensive board. Back to Webb. This time it's in, and the Providence leads it 3-0 on the quick release by Kayla Webb.
Well, Webb shooting 48% from three-point range in conference play, so you give her a couple opportunities, you know she's going to make one.
Sarda, tough hoop, and she'll get a free throw opportunity as it drops through the cylinder.
So we highlight a couple players, and they're the first couple players to score in this one for both sides. You see what Webb's able to do on the offensive end, hitting the three-pointer, and Sarda has really been aggressive, going to the hoop for these Blue Jays, including a game-winning drive against St. John's a couple weeks ago as part of her career best 22 points.
Sarda's free throw ties it up at 3. Back the other way, Kayla Webb. Outside into the hands of Orlando. Baskerville, quick post up against Griglione. I'll tell you what, that's what it is. She caught and turned to fire, didn't bring it down at all. And great positioning underneath.
Well, that's where it started, the great positioning that Baskerville had. It was going to get a foul on Orlando trying to fight through a screen by the Blue Jays. That positioning by Baskerville, and talking with Coach Crowley, he loves having a post presence. He hasn't had one throughout his short 3 years there, and there's not a lot of post presence throughout the league, so he likes having that weapon.
Changes the game just a little bit. Morgan Turner checks in as Agnew fires a 3. That's big for the Blue Jays as Jalen Agnew knocks down her first attempt.
Agnew shut out last Sunday for the first time since her freshman year. She went 0 for 6 in that loss for the Blue Jays to Butler.
Onto the wing to Orlando, to Webb, now back to Orlando. Nice bounce pass, but it's got to hit off the leg of Morgan Turner down low. And watch Morgan Turner. She'll have to battle against Baskerville. She was dinged up a little bit this week, slipped on some ice on campus, and has a bit of a twinge in her back.
Injury bug knows no limits. It's not just the gym, it's on campus too. You got to be careful out there.
They need one of those lights that draws the bugs, that zaps them, that you use on your porch, as a traveling violation will give the ball back to Creighton.
Yeah, these Blue Jays have just, in talking about that slip on campus, Griglione actually slipped in the student center a couple weeks ago too, so they just cannot buy a break, the Blue Jays.
Turner, as the Blue Jays swing it across into the hands of Sarda. Agnew again to Faber. There's an open look as Baskerville came out, but not in time, and Aubrey Faber drops it down. Aubrey Faber's 6th all-time, and Blue Jays scoring just continues to ratchet up that list. Foul by the Blue Jays as Providence drives toward the hoop.
And Nogic on the drive. Sarda trying to keep her feet in front of her, picks up the foul. Trying to slide and stay in front of one of the best players in program history for Providence. She's 8th in Providence history in scoring, is Nogic.
Talk about how much the Blue Jays will miss Faber when she leaves. Providence will desperately miss Yo-Yo Nogic. Out of bounds off of the Friars. Orlando ticked it. And Creighton will get the basketball back with a 4-point lead. Across the timeline comes Jade Owens. Blue Jays into their offensive set. Jade Owens will fire from downtown and knocks it down. And the Blue Jays are red hot right now from 3.
Yeah, you get them going. These are the best 2 3-point shooting teams in the conference, so not a surprise to see both sides knocking them down.
3 of 4 for the Jays as they've taken a 12-5 lead. Jolin at the elbow backs out. Step back jumper is good. And a long 2 for Providence. Coach Crowley wants a timeout. Creighton leads 12-7 over Providence early in the first. We will be back in a moment. This is Big East Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Lead for the Creighton Blue Jays over the Providence Friars in the first quarter. And there is the head man for the Providence Friars in his 3rd season, Jim Crowley.
Yeah, Crowley building this program to where he wants it to be after leading St. Bonaventure for 16 seasons, a couple of NCAA tournaments at St. Bonaventure, including a Sweet 16 trip. And yeah, just talking about him getting his identity, his program where he wants it to be, and they appear to have turned the corner a little bit this year, already eclipsing last year's win total in both overall and conference play.
Yeah, 3-time A-10 Coach of the Year before he came over to Providence. On the other side, Jim Flannery, 17th season here in Omaha.
Yeah, the all-time winningest coach in program history, better than 300 wins, 11 straight postseason appearances for his Blue Jays.
12-7 Creighton in front as they go on the offensive attack after the timeout called for by Providence, and now a illegal screen against Jalen Agnew. That'll send the ball back to Providence.
Another clean look there, but maybe it was clean because of the illegal screen there by Agnew. But Creighton starting 3 of 4 from three-point range is what forced Coach Crowley to call the early timeout. He doesn't want to let this one slip away. He mentioned it the past couple of years here. They've been blitzed to start the game, and Creighton has built a huge lead in a couple of big victories.
And a travel against Baskerville, so back the other way. Yeah, Blue Jays 67% so far in the ball game. Providence not too far off that mark, but they're only 1 of 3 from three-point range. 5-point lead. Owens will get it over to Faber, far wing. Dribble to the baseline. Orlando doing a nice job of keeping her out, but a good feed into Turner. unfortunately left it short for the Blue Jays. Rebound by Baskerville. Back the other way, Jolin for the Friars. Down the lane, kick out to Webb. Passes up the three with quick defense by Sarda. Jolin again. Blue Jays doing a good job of keeping them out of the paint. You see right now, Turner and Faber were kind of fronting up Baskerville to keep her out. Jolin off balance shot, no good. Grazes the net and out of bounds.
Yeah, Creighton making Providence really work hard for these baskets, and the longer Providence has to handle the ball, the more likely you're thinking if you're Creighton, you might get a turnover or a forced shot like you saw there on that possession for the Friars.
Well, we talked about the turnovers per game. Providence up near 18, as you've already addressed. Blue Jays about 13.2, and that big number created by a couple of games last week where it was near the 20 mark each game that they played. Kissinger is checked in, another senior for the Blue Jays. Underneath there's Rimbaugh. Agnew wants a three. Might have gotten a piece of it, Providence did, and the shot comes up short. Orlando up to Jolin full court. Nice no-look pass underneath. Baskerville comes up empty though. And here comes Tatum Rimbaugh.
Yeah, great look there by Jolin, just Baskerville leaving it just short.
Sarda wants a three, in and out, no good. Baskerville will grab the rebound out of the reach of Jalen Agnew.
You know it's halfway down and comes back out when the crowd reacts like that. They were ready to cheer.
Another great feed underneath. Jolin comes up short as Orlando found her cutting to the basket.
Both these sides getting good looks, just not getting them to fall.
Kissinger will hold with Baskerville in front of her. Now swings it far side to Sarda. Screened by Faber with Agnew coming around it. Back to Faber. Kissinger hits the deck, and the Blue Jays can't find anything open. Nice job by Providence. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Now Faber finds a lane and takes it to the hoop.
Well, that's what Faber presents, that challenge to try to defend her. Do you put a big on her like Baskerville? Can she guard the perimeter? And if so, Faber might go around her. That time, Baskerville kind of got lost on the defensive transition, and the Blue Jays take advantage of it.
Jolin at the elbow again. Kick out. Wing three for Speedwack, and she knocks it down. Ira Speedwack from Arlington Heights, Illinois. The sophomore knocks it down, and the lead just 4 for the Blue Jays.
Speedwack coming off a career best 11 points in her last game.
Inside to Faber. Orlando fronting her. Getting her a little push out. Faber turnaround off balance, and Orlando did everything she could to keep Audrey Faber from getting an easy shot. It wasn't easy, but it still drops down. Baskerville against Faber, and a block shot by Audrey Faber.
Faber, for as good offense as she plays, she actually leads the Big East in blocked shots this season.
A charge going to be called against the Blue Jays. A little too aggressive for Timmy Sarda.
There's again senior leadership drawing that charge was Maddie Jolin.
Maddie Jolin leads the Friars over 30 minutes of game played. She'll get a chance to take a rest as Coach Crowley sends in some subs. Blue Jays by 6. Just under 3 minutes to play here in this opening quarter from DJ Sokol Arena. He's Rob Sims. I'm Jake Ryan. Pleased to be with you this afternoon, as this game, the only women's basketball game on the slate today in Big East action. Spiewak into the corner. Strong dribble by Andrea Cooper. And Cooper turns the basketball over.
Turnovers really starting to mount now for Providence. And you know, if you're going to come on the road and come away with a victory, you have to protect that basketball.
The replay as Rimbaugh didn't give up any room. And now 3 seconds called. It's a quick whistle as the Blue Jays had just set up in their offensive set.
It's such an unusual call to make, too, because Creighton doesn't post up that much. And so to have Faber whistled for 3 seconds is really unusual to see in the Creighton's offense.
And just 9 seconds into the shot clock on that violation. Spiewak gets it to Alyssa Geary. Another talented freshman for Coach Crowley. There's a foul as Spiewak takes it to the hoop.
A nice aggressive take there by the sophomore from Arlington Heights, Illinois. I mentioned it, 11.6 rebounds in that win over Xavier last Sunday for Spiewak, coming on strong here in her sophomore season.
First free throws for Providence of the day. Blue Jays 1 of 1. And Tyra Spiewak knocks it down. Foul was on Tatum Rimbaugh. As we see the replay, Rimbaugh got a piece of her on the way up. And 2 for 2 for Spiewak. Leads 4. 2 minutes to play in this opening quarter. Faber trying to find Kissinger underneath. Kissinger saves it, gets it out to Peyton Brodsky, and she knocks down the big 3.
Oh, what makes Creighton so difficult to defend is everyone on the floor right now can hit a three-pointer. And so you have to be aware and you have to get out there. And Coach Crowley knows this and preached it all week, but unable to recover there and defend that one.
Brodsky from nearby Papillion, Nebraska, played at Springfield Platteview. And one of those freshmen that continues to impress for the Blue Jays, Andrea Cooper, a sophomore that impresses as she gets the end one opportunity. Foul is on Brodsky.
Providence being aggressive, even off the Creighton make, to get back down there. You see Nogic with the dribble penetration there. Nice job finding Cooper for the lefty finish.
Cooper just 52% on the year, knocks home the free throw, and it's a 4-point lead again for the Jays. She completes the 3-point play. Agnew, one dribble. Rimbaugh, Faber, stringing it out. Webb, but giving instructions up top of the defense for Providence, and there's contact made. I believe that's Cooper that will get tagged with it.
And Cooper doing a good job initially of staying in front and keeping close watch on Audrey Faber, but when Faber went to put the ball on the floor and get around her, that's when the contact was drawn.
Gracie Griglione will check back in. Jalen Agnew will get a break for the Blue Jays. Spiewak and Peyton Brodsky going head-to-head, and now Webb and Rimbaugh.
Just 2 fouls in the span of about 2 seconds on the clock for Andrea Cooper, the sophomore from Oklahoma. So she will head to the bench.
Another freshman for Providence checking in. Out of Brooklyn, New York's South Shore High School, that is Erlette Webb that has checked in. Or excuse me, Erlette Scott. Thank you, Rob. Faber, and it's stolen away. Scott making your presence known immediately. She'll go in, left-handed layup, up and in, and it's just a 2-point game as the Blue Jays have watched their lead evaporate. Providence stuck around after getting down by about 6. Now they've hacked it down to just 2. Jade Owens. She'll set things up with a minute to play here in the opening quarter. Now to screen, Faber. Griglione on the baseline. Faber against Geary. Audrey nowhere to go. Great defense for Alyssa Geary. 4 seconds of the shot clock. Owens kick back to Brodsky. 3-pointer on the way. It's good. Well, just like you draw it up.
Well, if you're Providence there, you're frustrated because you played 25 good seconds of defense, and then Creighton gets bailed out with hitting that 3-pointer.
Spiewak, athletic move inside, little long on the layup attempt. It goes over into the hands of Gracie Griglione. Jade Owens across the timeline. There is about a 0.3 differential in the game and shot clock. Blue Jays will hold for the final shot. As they'll set it up with Jade Owens out top, guarded by Kyra Spiewak. Brodsky, Faber, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Faber blocked out of bounds. And the Jays will inbound with 1 second on the shot clock, 1.8 on the game clock.
Interesting to see what they do here if you try to get it into your tallest player so she can stay high. Your tallest player right now, Audrey Faber, on the floor.
Will they have time? Faber has the ball up, no good. Shot clock expires, game clock expires, and we have reached the end of the first quarter. 22-17, Blue Jays by 5, and an entertaining start to action today at DJ Sokol Arena. Blue Jays over the Friars. Second quarter action coming up next on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
You have 4 years to help you figure out the meaning of life. Do you realize what a great gift this is?
I think of college as a moment of pilgrimage.
You'll go places you never thought you'd go. You'll meet people you never thought you'd meet. And you will experience things that are so rich that you can hold on to them forever.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. The fans out today, young and old, as they root on their Jays. 5-point lead for Creighton over Providence through 1 quarter of play. There's Olivia Elger, one of 33 games coming in affected by injury for the Blue Jays, Rob.
Yeah, Blue Jays just the injury bug all season long, and Elger out today for the Jays.
In possession of the basketballs. We start this second quarter. Jade Owens thinks about a 3, kicks it back to Brodsky. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Briglione back to Brodsky. Owens, 3 seconds on the shot clock. She'll launch it just inside 3-point range, gets it off. But a rebound, tough rebound inside by Geary. Quick outlet into the awaiting arms of Erled Scott. Kayla Webb calling for the basketball. Talented freshman. They are 4-1 since she's been into the starting lineup, and an offensive foul against Alyssa Geary on the far side.
Yeah, another one of those freshmen for the Friars, committing that infraction there. The Friars, 3 turnovers there in the first period, and commit their first one here to start the second quarter.
First foul on Geary as the Jays come down, still up by 5. 9:11 to play. Second quarter. Outside, Brodsky. Fake Spiewak in her face quickly. Now Agnew guarded by Webb. Drive to the hoop by Rimbaugh. No good. A little bit of contact. No foul called, and it's out of bounds off the Blue Jays.
Yeah, a lot of contact there as Rimbaugh did a good job of going to the basket, trying to draw that contact here to the judge. A little bit of contact maybe on the back there by Erled Scott, but also maybe a little bit of good defense there by the freshman. You see Rimbaugh going to the bench.
Nogic checking back in for Coach Crowley and the Providence Friars.
Nogic and Faber both trying to get a little extra rest there. They both were on the bench to start, and now they're both back in.
Nogic nifty behind the back dribble, knocks down the shot. She pulled it up. And Agnew back the other way. Brodsky fronted by Jolin. Now to Sarda. Agnew matched up with Jolin. She'll step back, fires the 3, knocks it down for the Jays. 25-19.
Creighton 6 of 9 from 3-point range now. Just that little jab step got the space that Agnew needed to drain her second triple of the game.
Geary double team. She'll fire a shot over it, knocks it down. Nice jumper by Alyssa Geary.
Now, Geary brings the size as a freshman, but she has a perimeter game with that size.
Agnew wants another 3 just off the front of the iron. And a quick rebound by Kayla Webb. She's running. No numbers, she'll back it out. Hands off to Jolin, cruising down, drop off to Scott. Webb. A 3-point three-pointer put in for Providence, and they cut the lead to 1.
Providence coming out on fire here in the second quarter, hitting their first 3 shots.
Faber, Brodsky. Quick defense by Scott on Jade Owens. Now Faber a small opening, but Geary getting over in front of her. Jolin picks up Brodsky. Yo-yo on Agnew. Good ball movement, but great job by Providence staying in front of the basketball. Faber down to the baseline, picks up her dribble, feeds to Owens with 3 seconds, and a travel in the process.
Yeah, they called it on Faber before she got rid of the ball, whether it was a travel or if she stepped on the end line, I'm not sure, but she got herself cut off again by the Friars. Good defense there. Last several possessions here, especially to start this second quarter. Friars really playing outstanding perimeter defense.
We'll let Scott hand off to Chanel Williams. Williams over into the hands of Nogic. She'll fire the deep 3 and comes up empty. Faber picks up the loose ball. Back the other way come the Blue Jays, up by a point. Far wing now to Sarda. Williams right there in her face. Nogic quickly on Agnew. Faber a look, and they're going to call a foul, looks like, on Geary pushing Owens out of the way trying to get to her.
A lot of fouls on Providence early on, trying to fight through these screens there. Goodness to see that. You kind of like to see it, but again, you have to be smart with it because, you know, Coach has been preaching that all week. Coach Crowley saying we've got to get around those screens or through those screens if we can to contest those 3-pointers, but you have to do it legally also.
Geary sits down with 2 fouls. Mary Baskerville is back in. She'll be matched up with Peyton Brodsky. Right now, Chanel Williams harassing Timmy Sarda. Brodsky again, Baskerville, both hands in the face. Bounce pass on the wing to Sarda. Chanel Williams staying right in front of her. Again, great job by Providence, just not losing the Jays. They lose Sarda for a point 3-pointer.
Well, that was Williams. She saw the drive coming from Brodsky, tried to help out a little bit, and when she collapsed, that gave just enough space to Sarda to knock down the triple.
So lead grows to 4 after Providence had cut down to just a point. Chanel Williams will drive against Jade Owens. Outside to Scott. Earlette down the wing. Nice layup against Peyton Brodsky. Earlette Scott knocks it down, back to a 2-point game.
Really aggressive take there by Scott. Right when she caught that ball, she knew she was going low.
Agnew. There's that thumb brace on the right hands. She seems to have gotten used to it today. Peyton Brodsky waiting for Sarda to come around a screen. Sarda does, but Scott's right there to pick her up. Outside to Brodsky, 3-pointer short, into the hands of Faber, and she puts it right back up and in.
Again, a mismatch there on the switching by Providence. Had Faber matched up with 5'4" Chanel Williams. She got her boxed out well enough to get that rebound and put back.
It's a fairly good matchup for the Blue Jays. We'll let Scott, guarded by Brodsky this time. Tipped by Basker on the pass by Baskerville, by Faber, but it's into the hands of Chanel Williams. 10 seconds on the shot clock for Providence. Chanel with the give and go with herself, blows right by Jade Owens for the bucket.
A little bit of a hesitation dribble. I don't know if that was purposeful or not, but it worked out for the Friars as she had the one-on-one breakdown with Jade Owens.
Halfway through the second quarter, it's a 2-point lead for Creighton. Turnaround for Faber off the mark. Rebounded underneath by Yo-Yo Nogic. She'll bring it up herself. Dishes off to Jolin. Maddie Jolin to Scott. Chanel Williams eyes the defense. Feed inside to Baskerville. Double team between Faber and Owens. And out of bounds, I believe. Baskerville picked the ball up sitting on the baseline.
That's right. Looked like Faber might have got poked in the eye there. We'll find out when we come back.
30-28 Blue Jays as we are midway through this second quarter. Yo-Yo Nogic, look at the fancy move for Providence. Friars and Blue Jays, entertaining game this afternoon in Omaha. Back in a moment on the Big East Digital Network.
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Just about midway through the second quarter as the Creighton Blue Jays lead the Providence Friars 30-28. Jake Ryan along with Rob Sims as we bring you today's game from DJ Sokol Arena right across the street. I'll tell you what, the emphasis on women's athletics here at Creighton University just continues to grow. Check out the Ruth Scott Training Center, built for women's basketball and Creighton volleyball. And it's literally right across the street from this gym, across, what is that, 19th Street here in Omaha?
That's what it is, yeah. Just the facility, as you mentioned, dedicated to women's sports. Of course, the men's program here at Creighton has their own practice facility. Now, this women's practice facility, through the generous contributions of the Scott family, and that's going to be, they actually started playing in it, practicing in it last week. They started building it just a few months ago. It's impressive how quickly it got up here in downtown Omaha. Opened last week to practice in. They're going to dedicate it this coming week, and it's just another part of this East Campus expansion for Creighton University that has helped them as they have continued to blossom in the Big East Conference.
And we are here at DJ Sokol Arena, opened in 2009. Of course, it gave the Blue Jays women's teams finally a home. They had played all over the city, from Marion High School to the Omaha Civic Auditorium to other random gyms throughout the city. So finally a place that they could truly call home and develop. And the locker rooms, the athletic offices, everything in this facility, it's beautiful.
Well, you talk about the success that both programs that play in here have had. Volleyball, obviously 5-time consecutive Big East champions, NCAA tournament, Sweet 16 appearances. Creighton women's basketball here, who we're watching today, the last 2 NCAA tournaments, first round win both times.
The investments have paid off. Blue Jays with the possession out of the timeout. Jalen Agnew will fire a 3 with 9 seconds on the shot clock, bangs off the back iron, and Arlette Scott has got the rebound. Up to Maddie Jolin, and now Yo-Yo. Back to Scott. Tries to shake Brooke Kissinger, does off the glass, contact but no call, as Arlette Scott earns a tough basket. Another one of those talented freshmen for Coach Crowley.
Yeah, and Scott has really made an impact since coming in. She has 6 points, made all 3 of her shots. In fact, the Providence bench right now, 18 points. Friar starters with just 12.
Maddie Jolin whistled for the foul away from the ball. You know, Rob, we talk about these teams being even in the conference standings, and basically if you look at the numbers, they're very even as far as points, rebounds, shooting percentage, etc. But you look at the rosters themselves, they are heavily loaded with the freshman, sophomore classes.
Oh yeah, Providence doesn't even have a junior on the roster. Key contributors as freshmen. Obviously, they're both sides led by some star-studded seniors, but future looks bright for both sides.
Arlette Scott's basket tied us up at 30. Blue Jays working now halfway through the shot clock, trying to take that lead back. Timmy Sarda at the free throw line. Kick back to Owens on the wing. Now back to Agnew. 3 seconds left. Agnew, loose ball on the court. Blue Jays better get it off, and it will be a shot clock violation. Great defense for Providence once again.
I tell you, the Friars defense here in the second quarter has made all the difference. Yeah, sure, they're shooting 6 of 8 in this quarter as well, but the fact that they've been able to slow down Creighton's motion offense. Blue Jays just 3 of 9 from the field here in the quarter, and those 9 shots that they've attempted, they've had to work really hard for.
Started off red hot with some quick looks at the three-point basket. Jolin will drive to the hoop, kicks back to Baskerville, and Baskerville knocks down the short jumper. A lead for Providence is the first since 5-3 early in the game. Blue Jays will try to find the equalizer. Faber, Sarda, guarded by Kayla Webb, who has checked back in. Faber on the way for 3, leaves it short. Nice rebound by Jade Owens in the right spot. Kissinger, she'll take a drive, kick back out to Turner. Turner fakes, now delivers. Deflection of the pass by Providence, and they will run. Webb to Baskerville. Mary Baskerville up and in for the left side. 4-point lead for Providence.
Yeah, 8-0 run now for the visitors.
Owens calls the play as she crosses the midcourt logo here at DJ Sokol Arena. Faber to Kissinger. And they'll work it back in between the circles to Timmy Sarda. Now back to the senior, Audrey Faber. Turns, 7 seconds. They've milked the shot clock almost every possession here in the second quarter. Sarda into Faber, turnaround jumper, it's good. And the Blue Jays cut the Providence lead to 2.
Coach Flannery talking to him this week, he mentioned how they can't have wasted offensive opportunities, and Friars have been making them waste some chances lately.
Baskerville onto the wing. Webb gives a little move, now finds Earlette Scott out top. She'll take a 3 over Audrey Faber, no good. Started with the rebound for the Jays.
That's just Scott's third three-point attempt of the season, probably not the shot Coach Crowley wanted her to take after she'd been so effective with the dribble penetration.
Timmy Sarda, drive to the hoop, gets around the outstretched arm of Mary Baskerville and puts it in. Nice little pullback for the tie.
Yeah, that size that Baskerville has down there, the 6'3" frame, she's blocked 30 shots on the year to lead the Friars, and Sarda did wonders to get around that outstretched arm.
Maddie Gilliam will drive it in, keeps the ball on the hip, kept her pivot foot in the process. Now back to Nogic. Is it a 2 or 3? They'll say a 3-pointer.
Well, they said it was a 3. I thought her foot looked like it was inside the arc, and we'll see if they review that at a stoppage.
Right now, with a minute to play, a 3-point lead in the half. Sarda wants Kissinger. Brooke makes the catch, feeds it in. Double team coming over as Nogic cut back on Faber. Shot up by Owens, no good. Loose ball in the court. Owens finds the rebound. .38 seconds to play. A 15-second difference between the shot and the game clock here in the second quarter. Owens to Faber, back to Owens. Kissinger sets up for 3. Long 3 for Brooke Kissinger. And she finds the bottom of the bucket. The Blue Jays tie Providence with 17 seconds to go. They'll hold for the final. Score update and more coming up at halftime on the Big East Digital Network. 5 seconds. It's Yo-Yo in the lane, and Nogic finds the bottom of the iron, and it gives Providence a lead. Whether it's 1 or 2, that should be determined. 39-37 as it stands right now. We're through one half of play between the Blue Jays and the Friars. I'll tell you what, we're getting exactly what we expected, a very competitive ball game here in Omaha, Nebraska. 39-37, Providence in the lead at the half. From Omaha, this is the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
We now welcome in analyst Monica McNutt. She is on the call for Sunday's DePaul Xavier game on FS2. Monica, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem, Megan. Happy to chat.
Let's start with DePaul, Monica. The Blue Demons won the Big East tournament last season. They were picked to finish at the top in the preseason coaches poll alongside Marquette. However, DePaul is 4-3 in conference play right now. What do the Blue Demons need to do to establish a rhythm moving forward?
Well, honestly, Megan, I think we're starting to see that from them. I think back to their game versus Georgetown here in D.C., where they were down double digits and managed to come back and win that ball game. I know, myself included, to a degree, folks were sort of blown out of the water a bit to see the loss to Creighton to kick off conference play. But I think it's just that, kicking off conference play. And I think you have to give them a little bit of wiggle room. I mean, the game of basketball in a game and over the course of the season is about the ebb and flow. It's a series of runs. But I think we're starting to see DePaul hit a little bit of momentum. I do think that a key to that has been their commitment on the defensive end. We know that they can score. I mean, we know they've got Grays, they've got Campbell, they've got plenty of young ladies that can score. But I think they had to be reminded of just how hard it is to win in this league and that you truly can't take anything for granted. But I think Creighton was a solid wake-up call for them.
What is the biggest difference in this year's DePaul team that you've seen in versus last year's?
The key to grasping what he's calling when he's calling it is just a degree of toughness. Now, I think that this team can get there, but I also think you got to give credit to the league. The league looks a little bit different than it did last year as well. I mean, you've got Butler and Marquette that are at the top standing right now, and they would be the teams that come to mind in terms of being in the way for a DePaul team that's trying to repeat the success they had last year.
You mentioned it right there, Monica. Butler. DePaul faces the Bulldogs on Friday. Butler has the stingiest defense in the Big East. They are leading the Big East in scoring defense. What does DePaul need to do offensively to score on Butler on Friday night?
So I am really excited for this matchup. I'm excited for the next two games that Butler has because they finished with DePaul and then they've got Marquette. I look at Coach Godleski, who truly formulated a system that would allow the players on his roster to thrive, and it has been an incredible turnaround for his program, I'm sure that you know. And then I'm looking at Coach Bruno, who is well established in this league, who always has the horses that he needs in terms of putting players in position to be successful. This one I expect to come down to execution, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. You mentioned Butler's stingy defense. There are holes because as an offensive player, you always have the upper hand just slightly because you know what you're going to do and the defense doesn't. However, you have to pick your spots very wisely when you play Butler. You have to get into those passing lanes. You have to pick spots that make them rotate and hopefully create holes in their defense. On the other end, Butler also doesn't really get rushed in the offensive set. So as important as the defensive commitment is going to be for DePaul, they're going to have to maintain the duration of the shot clock. They're going to have to be talking, and they're going to have to clean up that side of the glass as well, because if you allow Butler to get second chance opportunities, then they really start to feel themselves.
Let's take a look a little bit more so at the middle of the league now, Monica. Georgetown, they are 3-4, a veteran team. What do the Hoyas need to do to start developing consistency moving forward?
I think we've seen some Jekyll and Hyde action out of the Hoyas. They are a team, to me, that has not quite identified this year's signature. When you talk to other coaches preparing to play Georgetown, the statement that you get is, they want to get up and down in transition. They want to play defense. They want to play ball fast. And I think that was Georgetown last year, no question. This year, I don't know that game is benefiting Georgetown the way that it did. So I think that they're still trying to figure it out, but they just have to put two halves together would be my suggestion. The last time I saw them, they were playing Villanova, and that was truly a chess match in terms of Peretta, Howard. I mean, you got guards going at it. But Georgetown came out big in that one largely because of the performance of Dorothy Adamako. I think they've got to understand that Deanna White is circled on the scout. And so what was available to her last year may not be as available as easily. And so maybe this is a team that we see needs to slow down and execute in the half-court set as opposed to trying to get up and down, because teams are well prepared for their transition game.
Who is your dark horse in the league?
Oh, man. So I haven't seen either of these teams yet in person, but I'm thinking that Seton Hall might be my dark horse. Although when I saw Providence knocked off Butler, I was like, ooh, maybe I need to pay those guys a little bit more attention as well. But I think Coach Bozzella just does a fantastic job with Seton Hall. And I know when I saw them last year a few different times, I was just sort of impressed with, again, their toughness. They seem to be really talented this year. We know Samuels had a big week coming off of an award last week. And so I think that's a team that might be able to sneak up and get some people. I kind of think that they're due. So we'll see. I would pick Seton Hall, the Pirates.
And they have that whole entire new offense in store this season that you're seeing really come to light now.
Indeed. And I think anytime a coach, there's something about the relationship when a coach goes and sets up a system that is truly for his players, right? Like, it's one thing as a player, you show up, okay, this is what we got to run. This one's my favorite play. This one may not be my favorite play. But when a coach says, hey, guys, we're going to overhaul this. We're going to play to our strengths. As a player, you're like, wow, like, not only does Coach have a tremendous commitment to win, he has a commitment to win that is catered to what I do well. And so you can't do anything but get excited about an opportunity to do something that is custom fit for you. I don't know about you, Megan, but when I get some clothes tailored or get a dress tailored and it's fit just for me, like, you get excited about that.
They are there. You're custom made. It gives you all that, the confidence. It gives you the confidence then that you can take on the world. You can take on that meeting, that game, that interview, whatever.
Exactly. And so if the overhaul of an offense is going to speak to success, we've already seen that with Butler, right? Like, they've had a complete turnaround because Coach Godleski did the exact same thing.
Now I'm going to have you choose your all Big East starting five.
All right, I do want to give this slight disclaimer in that it is a little bit of recency bias in my starting five, and this could change over the course of the season. But I got to go with Marquette, who's into the top 10, which is outstanding for Coach Carolyn Krieger and her program. Natisha Heidemann is definitely on that list. And then I've actually got Kelly Jaycott from Villanova. I just think that her skill set is a defensive problem. Like, she's just so patient, can score on the outside, can score on the inside, really has a strong grasp on the game. Then I'm going with Whitney Jennings from Butler because I think she's an outstanding point guard, and obviously you know the success that Butler is having. I could envision her playing off of Natisha Heidemann or even switching roles to a degree because Jennings also can knock down big shots. Okay. Then I'm going with Tori in the paint because I don't think that we have a big in the league that sort of matches up with her in her efficiency, Tori Butler. And then I'm wrapping this up with Marte Graves from DePaul right now. Versatile, off the bounce, can shoot, can score. Again, a little bit of a matchup problem.
You said right now. Is there someone who's kind of on the edge there who might kind of come in if they peak a little bit? So outside of Jaycott, for the most of this are teams that are performing well. I really like Dorothy Adamako out of Georgetown. I also am a big fan of Ari Gray over at Xavier, but I need to see those young ladies and their team kind of give me a little bit more consistency. And I know that's sort of a double standard because Villanova right now has some work to do in conference play, but I think Jaycott has just really established herself as a consistent threat no matter how that game goes in the league. I'm looking for some more consistency from Gray, looking for some more consistency out of Adamako. And then you got to watch Shadeen Samuels over at Seton Hall as well. Monica, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great call this weekend.
Thanks, Megan.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Halftime from Omaha, Nebraska. It is Alumni Day as the Blue Jays trail by a point to the Providence Friars. As the second half highlights, stats, and more coming your way. We'll be back in a moment. Big East Digital Network, Providence 38, Creighton 37. It's presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save. You have 4 years to help you figure out
one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
The DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. Creighton and Providence this afternoon as the Blue Jays trail by a point to Providence. And of course, it was 39-37 as we went to break. They did change that 2 by Nogic back to a 3. Here's your first half highlights, Rob.
Yeah, Creighton got off to the hot start, went up by 7 there in the first quarter with a lot of easy looks that you're seeing here, but the Friars really turned it up a notch in the second quarter, and that's what led them to the 1-point edge at the break.
Yeah, Blue Jays 53% in the first quarter. Providence only 40, and then Providence came roaring back 77% from the floor in that second quarter, but it wasn't all from the offensive side, it was the defensive side that led them.
Well, I really noticed more of the Friars defensively to take the lead, but you look at the offense here, and you'll see a lot of easy looks for the Friars here, and you see Erlette Scott with one of her 3 baskets in the first half off the bench, 18 bench points there in the first half for the Friars, another drive, 10 of 13 from the field there in the second quarter, but it was all keyed defensively, really limiting Creighton's offensive possessions.
Yeah, and some of those breakout possessions, that first bucket by Scott you saw there was in transition, and then Mary Baskerville, nifty pass from Maddie Jolin on the baseline.
A nice balanced offensive attack for the Friars, led by 9 points from Yo-Yo Nogic.
The Blue Jays and Providence, the Friars, of course, with the 1-point lead. You saw that last bucket that they showed. That was the 2-pointer that we noticed it right away. The officials wanted to look at it again. They looked at it and said, indeed, it was a 2, her foot just inside that 3-point arc.
Yeah, you take a look at the halftime stats as well. Pretty evenly matched, kind of what we expected from 2 4-4 teams. And I think we're going to have an exciting second half.
Absolutely, getting exactly what we bargained for. A pair of 4-4 teams in conference, very even on paper, and so far, very even on the scoreboard. There's the Russian Bar Trio, a terrifying halftime act. We've got an exciting second half coming your way next on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Omaha, Nebraska, and the campus of Creighton University as the home team trails the visitors. Providence leading the Blue Jays of Creighton 38-37. I'm Jake Ryan alongside Rob Sims this afternoon, and I'll tell you what, as you look at this score, we talked about it as exactly what we expected. Teams 4-4, they're tied in the conference standings, they're even on paper. But Providence, no stranger to close games this season, Rob. When the margin of victory is 10 or less, they've played quite a few of those games so far this season.
Yeah, they've played 12 of those games already, and including recently, and they've really started to turn the corner as part of this 4-1 streak that they've been on, and won 4 of their last 5. That includes a 1-point overtime win at St. John's. That includes a triple overtime win at home against Butler last week, and that's a game, that was Butler's first conference loss. That was a game Providence trailed by 9 at one point in that game, and they led by 12, trailed by 9, able to grind it out and overcome 32 turnovers to come away with that victory. I talked to Coach Crowley about what's the difference between maybe even earlier in the year, they lost a heartbreaker to Penn State to open the season by 2 at the buzzer. They lost the next game, a 4-point game to Quinnipiac. He said it's just the amount of close games we've been in, you can't simulate that in practice. And so the confidence that we have, the more we've been in, the more comfortable we are in it, the more comfortable we've been running our system. And it has shown, as Providence didn't panic when they fell down by 7. I thought Coach Crowley called a really well-timed timeout in the first quarter, and it really kind of changed the tide here, and it has put the Friars in position to try to come away with a road win.
They lead by 1 here as we start this second half. Friars 8 losses, 5 of those have been by single digits. Just underway as Kayla Webb feeds it inside. There's Orlando, and another tough bucket gets the roll to go down, a 3-point lead for the Friars.
I like the ball movement there by the Friars out of the break.
Blue Jays will shoot in front of their bench here in the second. So there's Timmy Sarda on that far wing, hands it back to Agnew. Sarda, strong left-handed dribble out to Faber. Double team quickly as the amount of movement on the defensive side. There's Orlando creating some problems, and Nogic comes up with it.
Providence really doing a good job of plugging the lane, not allowing Creighton to dribble drive and dish it out.
Inside to Mary Baskerville, guarded by Faber. Outside, wide open is Nogic, just off the front of the iron, and Agnew has the rebound for the Blue Jays.
Blue Jays got away with a missed assignment there, leaving Nogic wide open for a 3.
Nogic 15th on the career 3-point percentage. She is red hot when she puts them up. That one a rare miss, and a miss by the Blue Jays as well. Rebounded by Kayla Webb. Maddie Jolin bounce pass into the block to Baskerville. Nice pass underneath, but Orlando can't get it to fall. She'll get the board. Back to Baskerville. She puts it up. And again, a couple of really makeable jumpers just rim out for Providence.
Yeah, the home team really escaping with a couple of easy looks by Providence. Not only on that possession, but their previous possession, the wide open look from Nogic. Creighton.
Tatum Rimbaugh. Off to the senior Faber. Into the corner. There's a 3 for Sarda, just long. And on the backside is Yo-Yo Nogic. She scans her teammates, bounces it back into the awaiting arms of Olivia Orlando. Maddie Jolin, no look pass. Kayla Webb wants it, no. This glances off the side of the iron and back into the Blue Jays' hands.
I know the Providence Friars have been missing a lot, but Coach Flannery has not liked what he has seen from all these shots, and he's calling a timeout early on in this quarter.
40-37, Providence with the only bucket of the second half. Blue Jays want to talk about it. 7:57 left in the third. We're back to Omaha in a moment. Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
The home of the Creighton Blue Jays in Omaha, Nebraska, DJ Sokol Arena. Providence has snuck out to a 3-point lead, 40-37. It could be bigger though, Rob, if you look at exactly what's happened so far in this third quarter. Only 2 minutes in, but the Blue Jays have caught a bit of luck.
Well, and that's exactly why Coach Flannery called the timeout, because it could be and should be so much worse for the Blue Jays right now, as Providence has only hit one of their first 5 shots to start this quarter, but all 5 of their shots have been easy open looks. And Providence was making those in the second quarter when they went 10 of 13, and Coach Flannery knows that he can't afford to wait around for Providence to make those shots. He needs to get in his team's ear to make a defensive adjustment and let them know they've got to start stepping up and playing some defense.
Jade Owens ready for the inbounds pass from Tatum Rimbaugh. Timmy Sarda, Jalen Agnew, Audrey Faber on the floor for the Blue Jays. Maddie Jolin, Mary Baskerville, Kayla Webb, Yo-Yo Nogic, and Olivia Orlando for Providence. Just over 2 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Blue Jays have not got a bucket. Providence with just one. 40-37 your score. Owens watching the cuts made. Now she'll drop it off to Faber outside. Back to Owens, back to Faber. She'll drive in. Quick double team as Jolin helps out. Rimbaugh gets in the air, throws it into the hands, and they're going to say no good on the shot. A shot clock violation, or they're going to go to review, Rob.
It looks like it was a clear shot clock violation, but you're right, the officials do want to take a look at it. We saw them review the last shot of the first half, and I think this will be a very quick review as they will take a look and see that Owens did in fact not get that shot off. And again, the Friars out contesting that perimeter offensive set by the Blue Jays, and Creighton unable to get any type of penetration to get an easy look at the rim. And a lot of times when that gets going for the Blue Jays, that opens up the outside shot. So right now, the Friars doing an incredible job of shutting down everything that Creighton wants to do offensively.
Shot clock violation. Rimbaugh's pass, if it might have been a little bit cleaner to Owens, she would have got it off, but just a little bit too low. By the time Owens adjusted, it was too late. 40-37. Jolin trips around a screen set. Luckily, Kayla Webb races back to grab the basketball. Looking to her left, dribbling to her right. Into the hands of Jolin in the corner. Olivia Orlando on the block against Jade Owens. That is a matchup that Providence would take all day. Misses the first opportunity, gets her own rebound, and puts it back.
Yeah, the 5'10" frame for Orlando matched up with Owens. He's about 5'5", 5'6". Good matchup, good look for the Friars.
Timmy Sarda looking to her left. Jalen Agnew, the recipient. Now she'll dump it off to Owens, who's picked up by Yo-Yo Nogic. At the free throw line, 15-footer, no good. But a rebound offensively for the Jays as Sarda grabs it. Peyton Brodsky has checked the lineup. She'll get it over to Faber, no good. And it caroms twice on the iron, and now a foul coming against Mary Baskerville.
Talking to Coach Flannery this week too, he knows that his team does not offensive rebound that well, so he wanted to stress that importance to give his team some extra chances offensively, and they have one now because of it.
Long count for Owens, finally does get it into Agnew. Back to Sarda, Agnew sizing up a three, foul away from the basketball offensively. It looks like they'll tag Peyton Brodsky for clearing out Mary Baskerville.
Again, Creighton just cannot get its offense going, still scoreless here in the third quarter, and this is not unusual. If you've been following the Blue Jays throughout the year, they tend to have a quarter almost every game where they just have 2 or 4 points and can't score. And it's more of the same today here. 0 for 4 with 3 turnovers here in the first 3.5 minutes of action.
Maddie Jolin fakes right, comes back left, gets an open look and knocks down the three. They say they want to look at it. For now, it'll stand as a triple. 45-37. Guess what, Rob? The shots have started falling. The Blue Jays, as you just said, still without a point. Faber had a quick open look. Baskerville fronts out on her, and she'll take a couple dribbles to the wing. Jalen Agnew will stop the bleeding for the Jays.
Now can Creighton's defense stop the bleeding on the other end?
Nice drive by Orlando, finds Baskerville in the paint, who kicks it out to Webb. Webb circles it in for 3. And it's back to an 8-point advantage for the Friars.
And the movement there on offense by the Friars, Creighton was never able to set up its defense. And the Friars, their largest lead.
Brodsky gets Orlando to fly by. Back out to Agnew, but it's knocked away by Jolin. Maddie Jolin with Kayla Webb streaking down. She'll take it all the way, and 1 for Maddie Jolin. She had Webb behind her, chose to take it, and will get a shot in addition to the bucket, which was hard-earned for Maddie Jolin.
Yeah, the
10-point lead for the Friars.
Defense leading to offense there. Here you see the steal and the finish. The tough finish there, contested by the freshman Brodsky, and the senior Jolin knowing what to do with it. And 79% free throw shooter on the season, trying to finish the three-point play and build this Friar lead.
Jacked after that make and knocks down the free throw as well. Chloe Dworick has checked in for the Blue Jays. Alyssa Geary will take the place of Mary Baskerville. Dworick handles the pass from Agnew, now back to Agnew. Sarda, Kissinger, and Faber for the Blue Jays. Jolin, Orlando, Nogic, Geary, and Webb for Providence. Bounce pass in, knocked away from Faber by Yo-Yo Nogic. She dribbles down, doesn't like the numbers, and now will hand it off to Kayla Webb. Nogic dribbles near side, feed in. Oh no, Geary with the huge size advantage on Timmy Sarda. Blue Jays lucky there because they fed it in, saw the advantage right away. That's like a new cornerback being in the game. Threw it right down to her. Foul out top as Agnew was knocked down. Looks like it'll be on Alyssa Geary. 51-40. And a timeout on the floor. 4:44 remains. Blue Jays will get a chance to make a plan to overcome this deficit. Providence leading big in Omaha. This is the Big East Digital Network.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Family on three, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Back in Blue Jay country, Omaha, Nebraska, DJ Sokol Arena as Creighton hosts Providence today. A big lead for Providence as you see the conference standings. Marquette, a huge win yesterday, doubling up on Xavier. And I'll tell you what, the Marquette Golden Eagles right now are the class of the conference.
Yeah, Alizea blocked it in that game, surpassing 2,000 points. The first Marquette player, female or male, to cross that threshold, and blocked just an impressive player. And Marquette so impressive, they continued their winning ways even when Blockton was down with an injury. And they are looking to get to the turn undefeated at 9-0 tomorrow when they hit the midway mark. DePaul had to battle back to defeat Butler last night as well. They overcame a 12-point deficit with just 6 minutes to go in that victory. St. John's topped Georgetown yesterday, and then Villanova over Seton Hall last night as well. But these two teams right in the middle. One trying to get over 500 at the midway mark, and the other will be under.
And you look at what's happened since Providence started the quarter 1 of 5. They have gone 4 of 6 since. The Blue Jays still just one field goal. It was a three-pointer by Agnew. They did review a three-pointer by Maddie Jolin, left it as a 3. It was clear she was behind the line on the replay. So the score 51-40. Providence in front of Creighton. And the Blue Jays will inbound the basketball. Nearly another turnover as Agnew threw it. It was batted by Jolin. Missed shot on the wing by Agnew. And here come the Providence Friars, looking to add to that double-digit lead that they've built here in the third. Colette Scott over to Maddie Jolin. She's got Webb on the baseline, on the sideline, doesn't need her. Drives right to the hoop, and another 2 for Maddie Jolin. 53-40.
8 unanswered now by Providence, and it's a 15-3 run overall here in the quarter.
Sarda over to Kissinger, sizes up for a deep three, on the way, in and out, no good, and it's rebounded by Webb.
That's what Kissinger is in there to do. She had a career game against DePaul, and Creighton's upset victory over DePaul earlier this year. Nebraska prep record holder with 3-pointers is Kissinger.
Webb to Spiewak, who's checked in. Shot left short, and a foul. Looks like it'll come against the Blue Jays. There's Brooke Kissinger.
Kissinger and Jolin getting tied up underneath the basket there, and that'll give an extra possession here to the Friars. Not only is Creighton struggling offensively shooting the ball, 1 of 7 here in this quarter, tack on 5 turnovers as well. Providence with just 4 in this game total. Creighton now up to 12 turnovers. Starting to tell the story of why the Friars have a 13-point lead.
Checking in Chanel Williams, trying to get Chloe Dworick to bite on the fake. Doesn't, but they'll get it down into the hands of Kira Spiewak. No good. Blue Jays away with the rebound. Sarda running into the lane. Now we'll back it out. Chanel Williams forcing that decision. Faber flaring across the front. Back to Kissinger, who picks herself up off the deck. And Agnew will hold into Faber just above the low block. And a step back jumper goes down, and a foul on Providence.
Now that might be the basket that the home team needs to try to get back in this one, but right now everything is a struggle for the Blue Jays. You see the replay, the foul, and the finish. Faber in double figures every game this season now. Her 20th consecutive double-figure game all this year. 13 points to lead all players in this ball game.
The foul on Scott is her first. And Faber completes the 3-point play. Blue Jays now with 6 in the quarter. Chanel Williams, another one of those young players. She's a sophomore, so she's actually riding the experience. But you know what coaches will tell you, after first semester, nobody's a freshman anymore.
They will say that.
Here's Spiewak out to the wing to Erlette Scott. She'll drive it in against Rachel Saunders and Chloe Dworick. And a foul coming against the Blue Jays. The shot misses. That's Rachel Saunders picking up the foul.
Have really enjoyed watching Erlette Scott's game today. To see her drive, draw the contact. She's finished a couple of those today. Didn't finish this one, but gets the opportunity to get a couple points. She's a 73% free throw shooter, the freshman from Brooklyn.
And a tough guard, 5'10", so she's got that height at the guard spot.
Coach Crowley trusted her enough to put the ball in her hands in that triple overtime game. Scored a clutch late basket in that big win over the Bulldogs last weekend in Providence.
2 for 2, the lead back to 12. Just under the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter. Floater by Sarda, leaves it short, gets her own rebound, and she will go to the free throw line after Providence commits a foul on the putback. Chanel Williams picks it up for the Friars.
Just a different look there by the Blue Jays as Sarda saw the wide open lane there. As you see on the replay, it was open to start. He tried to close in on her and did so, and bumping her with the foul there.
Sarda off the front of the iron and down.
Sarda, the Big East leader in free throw percentage in all games at 91.5% coming into this game. Of course, the other side, Nogic, 38 of 39 from the free throw line in conference play.
Scott will inbound as the Jays will go full court. Saunders and Agnew. Back over to Williams. Goes Providence, and they'll beat it as the pass crosses midcourt into the hands of Webb. Back to Williams. She'll clear everybody out. Maddie Jolin rushing to the scores table. She's ready to check back in on the next dead ball. Webb, three-pointer on the way. It is no good off the iron. Dworick with the rebound for the Blue Jays. Double team coming. Quickly gives it off to Sarda. Onto the wing. Faber fronted by Erlette Scott. Rachel Saunders goes tough against Nogic. Back out to Dworick. Picked up by Williams. Faber, piece of it did Erlette Scott get, and it's going to be out of bounds on the Friars, I believe.
Yeah, Faber pleading her case to the officials, but they won't hear it, and Scott, see if gets a little piece of it. Looked like a little, maybe a little ball, maybe a little hand. Tough to see from that angle, but Blue Jays still with the ball, still with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Sarda to Faber. Williams picks her up. Back to Dworick. Jays cannot find an open shot. They tried. 4 seconds and a travel on Audrey Faber.
The 6th turnover this quarter for the Blue Jays, and that was something that both coaches mentioned coming into this one. Providence needing to protect that ball. Well, guess what? They have done so. Just 4 turnovers in this ball game. They average 18 per contest.
17-8 advantage here in the quarter. Underneath, and a turnover for the Friars. Trying to find a cutting Andrea Cooper. Just a little bit too low.
And that's an aggressive turnover, at least. It's not just a silly giveaway. Trying to be aggressive and attack the basket. Just a tough angle on the bounce pass. You see Creighton going with some different personnel in this quarter, just trying to change things up.
Jade Owens will check in for Saunders. Rachel sits down. Doric with the screen for Faber. Frees her up for just a moment. Faber guarded tightly down low by Cooper, and now Agnew will get a 3. No good. Owens almost had a rebound, but it kicks out into the hands of Kira Spiewak. Far wing to Jolin. Providence content with slowing it down, setting up the offense with a 10-point lead. A minute to play in this third. Jolin, deliberate dribble, fires the 3 as she gets a screen out top. And the Blue Jays with the rebound off the miss. Owens drops it back. Agnew wants a deep 3, too deep as it bangs off the back of the iron, and Sarda will make contact with Cooper out front.
Tough on that long rebound there. You saw Sarda trying to corral it, but she had her head up looking at the basketball, didn't see the player that she bumps into there, and that will put Andrea Cooper at the line, the sophomore from Edmond, Oklahoma, just a 52% shooter on the year, but no misses at the line from either team in this one until I mention it, and then it happens.
Nice job. You always want to get that announcer jinx in there, which really doesn't exist at all.
Yes, the mythical.
Yeah. It's like when you mention a no-hitter.
Right.
So the 0 for 2 performance this time by Cooper. Knocked down her only attempt in the first half. 40 seconds remains in this quarter. Blue Jays will have to put it up with about 12 remaining on the game clock. Jade Owens will dribble, tightly guarded by Erlette Scott. Sarda gets free for a moment, but Chanel Williams races out to defend her. To the baseline, into the lane, kick out. Brodsky's open for 3, and she knocks it down.
Well, a rare defensive miscue for the Providence Friars today, because they have played so well out there throughout the second and third quarter here.
That's a big bucket. It knocks the lead down to single digits for the Blue Jays. Williams, 4 seconds on the game clock. And now underneath, blocked away. Great job by the Blue Jays defensively as Faber gets a piece, and they trail by 7. Providence with a big quarter, though. They lead at 55-48. We head to the 4th from Sokol Arena in Omaha, Nebraska. Big East women's basketball on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
one deep. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at Wintrust Arena.
Just about halfway through the conference season and the Big East Women's Basketball Tournament coming up in Chicago. As you see at Wintrust Arena, March 9th through the 12th. Saturday, March 9th is when the first round tips off. A couple of games that day, and then the quarterfinals on March 10th with a full slate of basketball from Wintrust. Providence with a big third quarter, taking a 7-point lead over the Blue Jays. And Rob, it was much bigger. They led by double digits much of the quarter.
Yeah, got that lead all the way up to 13. Creighton able to claw their way back into it to make it a 7-point game late. But Creighton, just 9 field goals made over the last 2 quarters after they opened with 8 field goals in the first quarter. And the Friars defense stepped up a notch since then.
He's Rob Sims. I'm Jake Ryan. We've got a kick basketball. We'll start it over on the possession. Jalen Agnew will trigger the inbound. Just 10 seconds into this fourth quarter. 55-48. Both teams at 4-4 in those conference standings. And an offensive foul now against the Jays. Audrey Faber guilty of the infraction. First foul against Faber. Here it is again, and moving real estate. Andrea Cooper took a spill. Chanel Williams for Providence with the basketball. At the elbow, she'll dribble it back out. Comes right, drops it off to Jolin. Addie Jolin camps out. Erlette Scott thought about a long 2 and gives it up. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jolin back out to Williams. 5 seconds. Gets Brodsky off balance, gets in. Little nifty flip on the lay-in attempt, but not enough English. And it falls out into the hands of the Blue Jays.
Yeah, great creativity to get to the rim, just unable to flip it off the basket there.
Sarda to Faber. Brodsky flashing across the lane, calling for the basketball. Sarda hanging on. Faber will go down the lane. Easy look for Audrey Faber. Defense overloading on that right side, and Faber saw it, takes advantage with the 2.
Yeah, and took advantage of Cooper just looking to her left to see if the screen was coming, and that slight glance gave Faber the time she needed to get to the rim.
Erlette Scott has the lead down to 5. And look at that, an easy basket for the Blue Jays and an easy basket for Providence.
A freshman mistake there. Brodsky miscommunicating with her senior guard, Jade Owens, and the miscommunication leading to the easy look for the Friars.
Jalen Agnew is the defense. Fronting Agnew is Spiewak. Inside to Faber, picked up by Cooper. Out top to Sarda, back in, and Sarda, a dangerous pass for Brodsky, is intercepted by Providence. Jolin nearly lost the handle on the basketball. She'll regain it and turn it around. Erlette Scott handling now for the Friars. Under 8 to play. Cooper posting up against Timmy Sarda. They won't go her direction, though. They'll go the way of Chanel Williams. She'll take the drive to the hoop and will go more than likely to the free throw line. Let's see if they determine a shooting foul. Brodsky getting the body on her as she slices through.
Yeah, Brodsky swiping at the ball there, and Faber trying to come over and help too. She could have picked up the infraction there as well, but either way, it's Williams at the free throw line. 71% shooter on the season. The Big East all-freshman team a year ago.
And she leaves the first one short. Substitutions come in.
Williams, a starter for the bulk of this season as well. Gives you that experience off of the bench. Just a nice point guard by committee for the Friars out there.
Baskerville and Webb will be across from each other on the key as the second free throw for Williams is knocked down. Nogic checking back in. Jolin and Williams for the Jays. It's Jade Owens with the basketball. Faber, Agnew, Rimbaugh, and Sarda. Three-pointer by Faber, no good. Nice offensive rebound by Sarda. That could be described only as pesky. She just stayed in there and took it away. Agnew will size up a 3. On the way, no good long. Owens getting into the body of Baskerville, and Jade will pick up the foul.
Yeah, you gotta like the heart there by Owens, the 5'6" guard going in, trying to battle against the 6'3" post player, but picked up the foul in doing so.
Williams gets the call from Coach Crowley. She brings it across the Blue Jay logo at midcourt here at DJ Sokol Arena in Omaha. Addie Jolin gives a look outside. Now we'll drop it onto the post to Baskerville. Drive to the hoop by Williams. Baskerville somehow got behind everybody, and Williams found her for the easy bucket. It's back to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, the danger of closing in on the ball. That leaves the player open, and Baskerville was able to knock down her shot. Foul on the other end.
Knocks down Rimbaugh on the other end. Tatum coming with the inbound pass. Team fouls 3 for Creighton this quarter, just 1 for Providence. That was it right there. Olivia Orlando will guard the inbounds. Picks up Rimbaugh into the offense. Nogic picking up Jade Owens up top. Baskerville matched up with Faber, and Faber got her moving. And they pick up their second foul.
It's Baskerville picking up the foul once again. Her second in the manner of 2 seconds. Fortunately for the Friars, just her first 2 of the day.
Clock under 7. And another foul down low. This time, Baskerville and Faber will hit the deck.
And that is going to go against the freshman once again. I don't know that there's a foul there. It's just a little bit of bumping, but the fact that they went to the ground, and she's whistled for 3 fouls in the manner of 3 seconds.
We saw Owens up top, about the same reaction as Baskerville had when she was called for the foul. What is going on here? Agnew out to Rimbaugh. Tatum kicks to Faber, finds Owens briefly. She'll drive in. Out top to Sarda, gets in the lane, floater, no good, glancing off the left side. Rimbaugh with the rebound and the putback. Tatum Rimbaugh, again, knocking it down to a single-digit lead for Providence. Sits at 8 as Earlette Scott handles the basketball. On the high post to Jolin, back out to Scott. She'll drive in against Rimbaugh, and Tatum will pick up the contact. Earlette Scott will go to the free throw line on the 4th Blue Jay team foul.
Well, the winner of this ball game is going to have to grind it out either way. Both these teams fighting hard today, and Friars doing their best to come away with their first ever victory here in Omaha. 0-5 in their first 5 trips here.
They'll continue that stretch of Big East play that goes down in the record books as their best start ever.
That's their best 8-game start since the 2011-12 season. And this is their best 5-game stretch since the 96-97 season. They're looking for their first 3-game Big East win streak since 2002. It's just been a lot of improvements here under head coach Jim Crowley.
His 3rd season, 62-52 your score. Back to a double-figure lead. Owens on the wing. Providence, great hustle defensively, just continuing to spot up in front of Jay's shooters. Rimbaugh gets inside against Orlando, leaves it short, and it's Orlando with the rebound.
Well, that's exactly what Creighton needed to do to finally penetrate and get inside, but just could not finish it.
Outside to Jolin from Nogic. She'll drive against Owens, off the glass and in. It's a 12-point lead, matches the biggest of the ball game. Check that, 13 has been the biggest of the ball game. Just under that mark at 12.
Creighton cannot afford many more empty possessions in this ball game.
Just about midway through this 4th quarter, Agnew nearly throws it away. Faber rescues her, feeds it out to Owens. Bounce pass to Rimbaugh. Kick out to Faber. She was open for 3. Passed it up to Owens, and Jade drills it. Big 3-pointer for the Blue Jays. You said they couldn't come up empty, and they get a big one there.
Now the home team looking for the stop, trying to claw their way back into it, but the Friars have really owned this game since after that 1st quarter.
Look at that, Rimbaugh playing far off Earlette Scott, and the Blue Jays had it, but a turnover. Back to Scott, to Jolin. Orlando, and now the Friars will set up offensively. Foul coming against the Blue Jays. That drive by Scott, Rimbaugh playing way off of her, waiting for the drive, and that's exactly what she gave her. 2 shots coming on the 15th foul against Creighton. That will send us to break. Providence leading by 9. They've got a pair of free throws coming up. 64-55. Providence leading Creighton here in Omaha on the Big East Digital Network presented by SoFi.
Family on 3, 1, 2, 3. Family!
One voice, one heart, one beat. As we say, we are one. You ready? Let's go.
This is who we are.
We are the hardest working group of people I've ever met in my entire life.
This is bigger than just the game.
You made the jersey better than when you found it. That means you left your mark.
That's the Big East way.
1, 2, 3.
Together!
The 2019 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament at WinTrust Arena.
It's time to fuel your ambitions by taking charge of your student debt. At SoFi, we've helped over 250,000 people refinance their student loans, saving thousands of dollars. Now you can pay off your student loans faster and reach your goals sooner. See how much you can save in just 2 minutes at SoFi.com/save.
Providence continues to lead Creighton. This time it's 64-55. Blue Jays have cut it down under that double-figure mark. But again, 2 free throws coming for the Providence Friars. And if you look at the statistics so far here in the third quarter, or excuse me, the fourth quarter, Rob, what stands out at you?
Well, just the continuation of what Providence has been able to do. Creighton has attempted just 21 shots inside the paint in this game. That means a majority of their shots are coming from the outside, and that's because Providence is not allowing the penetration there. You see, focused on Erlette Scott. She's got a career-high 12 points in this ball game. And, you know, we highlighted Kayla Webb to start the game. We talked about Mary Baskerville. She's been a 3-time Big East Freshman of the Week. Erlette Scott, another freshman, saying, hey, what about me? I want to talk about me today. And when you score 12 points, career-high, 4 of 6 from the field. She's 4 for 4 at the line. We'll talk about your Erlette. She's had a fantastic game. It started last weekend. She had a nice clutch basket against Butler late in that ball game. Had 7 rebounds in that ball game. So her play starting to come on strong for the Friars as well.
Yo-Yo Nogic leaves her free throw short. Second one would make her the 3rd Friar today in double figures.
Well, that's just the 2nd free throw she's missed in Big East play all year long.
And she calmly knocks down the second. 10 points for Yo-Yo. You talked about it. 38 of 39 coming into this ball game, Rob. And a rare miss. See if the Blue Jays can take advantage of it. She goes 1 of 2. Sarda over from Rimbaugh. Faber calling for the ball. 14 seconds to play. They'll feed it into Faber. Double team coming. Audrey puts it on the ground and then throws it into the hands of Maddie Jolan as she was looking for Rimbaugh on the wing.
Great hands there by Jolan. Her active hands haven't resulted in a lot of steals personally, but her hands have caused a lot of turnovers by the Blue Jays today. And those have led to 17 points for the Friars today. 17 points off Blue Jay turnovers.
At the elbow, Jolan will back out. Maddie dribbles down, strong defense for Faber. Inside to Orlando. Against Sarda, leaves it strong on the glass. And the shot clock goes off, but it hit the rim, they determine. And the second follow doesn't go. So a little bit late on that reset. Sarda all the way in. Timmy Sarda to the basket. And it's back to 8. Timeout Blue Jays. 3:36 to play, 65-57.
Yeah, Coach Flannery wants to set up some defense here. We'll see if he comes with a little full court press or at least just a little token pressure in the backcourt that he tried midway through the third quarter. Didn't really slow Providence down much at all, but I'd like to see that attack there by Sarda if you're the Blue Jays. Don't allow the Friars to get set up in the pesky defense that they've been throwing up. And Sarda able to dribble right by everybody and finish there. So Coach Crowley drawing up what he wants to do with this offensive possession. And I would imagine you're going to see the Friars try to work the clock a little bit, and you do see the Blue Jays setting up with a little full court press.
See what they can do as Providence averaging just over 63 points a game. They've got 65 so far. Blue Jays just one game over 500 coming into this game. They've given up 67. They've scored 67 per game. And nearly taken away from Kayla Webb. She'll get it off to Jolin as she rescues the basketball. 4 seconds to get it across. They do into the hands of Nogic. And out top, it's Earlette Scott.
So now you see the slow down for the Friars.
Scott bounce pass to Webb, works it to the near side right. Nogic gets Rimbaud a bite on the fake, and then a foul coming against the Blue Jays. More free throws coming your way for Providence.
Yeah, the Friars, over the last 3 games as a team, shooting 91% from the free throw line. Their last 3 games, 41 of 45 coming into this afternoon. Today they started 6 of 6 at the line. They've cooled off a little bit since then, but still 10 of 14 at the stripe here today.
Rimbaud, her 3rd personal foul, is Yo-Yo Nogic makes the first. 9-point lead for Providence. And the second on its way. So the rare miss, that might be one of the few that's seen this year by Yo-Yo, and we've got to witness it firsthand. She's now 1 for, check that, 3 for 4, and a steal inside. Blue Jays just trying to get it by. The passes are a bit slow, and Providence stepping in front of them looks relatively easy, but they're in good position defensively.
And that was Jolin's hands getting that steal, causing that steal once again.
Jolin holding it. Maddie left-handed dribble, switches right, trying to get Agnew off of her. They'll work it back into the hands of Nogic. She picks up the dribble, fires a 3 with 4 seconds on the shot clock and knocks it down. Yo-Yo Nogic, no problem.
That might be the dagger for the Friars there, is the 20th points off turnovers the Providence Friars scored, and they get another turnover by the Blue Jays on that possession down.
Block shot into the hands of Kayla Webb as Owens tried to drive it to the hoop. Olivia Orlando out top, guarded by Timmy Sarda, kicks out to the wing. Baseline dribble for Jolin. To Scott, to Orlando, 8 seconds, and Jolin's shot partially blocked. Blue Jays will come up with it. Down the court they come, into the hands of Rimbaud, and she loses the dribble right into the arms of Earlette Scott. She goes full length of the court to Kayla Webb, and another conversion for Providence. It's a 15-point lead for the Friars. Largest lead of the game for the visitors. Owens to Faber, just 1:40 to play. Timmy Sarda as the Blue Jays slowly losing their handle on any comeback attempt, and a foul. No, they're going to call a jump ball, and that will belong to Providence. So back over to the Friars. Great job getting the hands in there, tying up Timmy Sarda on the drive to the basket. Coach Flannery clearly frustrated. Tatum Rimbaud will check out. Rachel Saunders will be in. Earlette Scott coming up the floor with the basketball. She's got Jolin to her left, and right in front of her was Olivia Orlando. That's how she passes to Webb. Kayla gives it a stop. Now a give off to Orlando, and an easy bucket again. The lead now 17. 9-0 Providence run. As the Blue Jays were trying to mount a comeback, they have come up well short. Saunders buries a 3, and a timeout for Coach Flannery. 1:09 to play. The big 3 for Saunders, and the lead is 14. 1:09 remaining here at DJ Sokol Arena. Jake Ryan along with Rob Sims. A very entertaining basketball game. It was a big 3rd quarter that propelled Providence to a double-digit lead. Jays cut it down into single digits heading into the 4th, but more Providence action pouring it on here in this 4th quarter. One stat that we looked at before the game started was that the rebounds, when Providence can out-rebound their opponent or be equal to them, they're 8-0. They are being out-rebounded by a significant margin today by the Blue Jays. +10 for Creighton, but it doesn't matter. It's +14 on the scoreboard for Providence. 20 turnovers now for CU. That ties a season high that they set last weekend. Up the floor to Earlette Scott. A minute comes and goes. Providence in control. Let's see what the Blue Jays elect to do. Down 14. Nogic, free throw shooter extraordinaire, gives it up briefly to Webb, gets it back to Nogic, and then a feed to Orlando. Orlando misses the shot, but an offensive rebound for Providence.
Providence really asserted themselves after the Blue Jays came out with an effective first quarter, but after that first quarter, it has been all Providence. They have earned this win. They've earned their first victory ever in Omaha with outstanding defensive play.
Kayla Webb dumps it up to Orlando. She'll kick it back to Scott. They'll milk a few more seconds off the shot clock to Nogic. Wide open with 2 seconds, buries the three. 77-60, Friars in front of the Blue Jays. Three-pointer on the way for Sarda. She knocks it down. 8.6 seconds left and a 14-point lead will probably be your final margin here from DJ Sokol Arena. Up to Scott, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and this game is in the books. Providence a winner today, 77-63 over the Creighton Blue Jays. We'll talk with the victorious head coach in just a moment, but what a second half performance from Providence to overcome an early deficit to the Blue Jays. Back and forth game. And a 38-37 advantage at the half, easily pulling away with strong defense and a great offensive performance in that second half. Rob Sims standing by with head coach Jim Crowley for the victorious Friars of Providence. Rob? Coming up, that interview in just a few moments. We'll frame them up and be all ready to go. Rob, take it away.
All right, here with head coach Jim Crowley. Coach, when we talked earlier this week, you said you wanted to protect and contest. I thought you guys did an outstanding job of forcing Creighton to take those outside shots, not allowing them to get to the basket, especially after that first quarter.
Yeah, Creighton's a great team. I mean, they've got great players who play really hard. They're super well coached. And we knew they'd come out really, really well, and they did. And I thought we weren't as aggressive as we need to be in some of our switches, and they're going to make you pay for that, and they did. So I thought as we got going in the game, we got a little more aggressive on the perimeter. Really team defended, got them later in the clock a lot, which I thought is why the fourth quarter worked for us, because we were making them work so hard on both ends, and we were fortunate the ball went in. I mean, Creighton's a great team. The ball goes in, everything seems a little better, and you pass it all right, and the ball goes in more. So we're fortunate today.
Erlette Scott, we've talked a lot about your other freshmen this year, Webb and Baskerville. Erlette Scott had an outstanding game today. Talk about her play.
Yeah, she just finds ways to make good things happen. I mean, she made a great play against Butler in the third overtime. She defended outstanding today. She went to the basket. She created fouls. She just really knows how to play, and comes from a great high school and AU program, so she's used to being in tough situations and handling them. So, this is a tough place to play. It's obviously a tough trip against a great team, so just really proud of our group to handle things the way they did today.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Rob Sims along with head coach Jim Crowley, the victorious head coach in Omaha today. Providence now 13-8, 5-4 in the Big East, while the Blue Jays fall to 10-10 overall and 4-5. It was Yo-Yo Nogic that led the way. She got her points, the senior leader, leading a young group of freshmen and sophomores for the Providence Friars. Again, your final score, Providence 77, Creighton 63 from Omaha. This has been Big East Women's Basketball on the Big East Digital Network, presented by SoFi.